I've been pondering and meditating a saying of Jesus. When he said, resist not evil. And what that might mean at a deeper level. And I evaluate a lot of events and situations and movements based on energy. I observe, sense, feel the energetic signature. So what did he mean by resist not evil? What's the lesson behind that? Let's allow me to try and explain it at an energetic level. What do you feel when someone accuses you, blames you, shouts at you? What is your reaction? What does your energy do when someone is angry with you and at you and verbalizes that in a very forceful way? What do? You shut down, right? You shut down. You put your shields up and you tune out. You don't hear a thing anymore that the other person is shouting or saying. That's an energetic response. You're putting your shield up. We could almost say like you're putting your energetic shield up against toxic radiation. That's a normal response. And I want you now to take this understanding and this feeling. I want you to take it and now apply it to the great evil that has been perpetrated on what's in the news right now, Lahaina, Maui, the fires. I don't call them wildfires because they're not wildfires. Wildfires don't distinguish between blue cars and white cars and red cars. And wildfires would normally burn the blue car as much as it would any other color. But with these fires, all blue objects, for some reason, withstand the fire. That's just a little hint to let you know this is not a wildfire, a natural wildfire. This is a laser fire that is very precisely directed out of space. Space weapons. That's why the fire so carefully zigzags around certain buildings and doesn't touch it. The same is true for the Canadian wildfires. There is fires being set, but they're not natural wildfires. That's just a sidebar. But I want to get back to the energy. What I said earlier, when you feel this blast of energy come against you in the form of accusation, blaming, and anger, you simply shut down. And energetically, this is the same when we express our anger, our blame with the politicians, with the elites of the world, with the rich men of the world, that play this game because they have the means to do so. They can play around and destroy things on this playground. But to be angry with them and to curse them, like the people in my country are cursing our prime minister with those infamous flags and stickers with the middle finger, that in terms of energy creates a lot of resistance. Do you think that Justin Trudeau doesn't have his shield up? Or do you think that Bill Gates and the rich people don't have their energetic shield up to ward off all the angry energy that is directed at them, just like their energy weapons are directed at the ground, at properties? Should have had your blue shield up. I'm not joking. It's all very sad, but you have to understand energy to give the proper response. If we are angry and accusatory with those responsible, they're not going to hear us. And I'm thinking one of the applications of the saying of Jesus, to resist not evil, is actually to not react in that angry energy and to remain neutral, non-resistant, and in that way create a vacuum. Sometimes when you leave a responsible party in the vacuum of silence with their own thoughts and with their own deeds, it'll be their own conscience that will call them to justice, call them to do the right thing. It'll be in this silence where their own conscience will accuse them. And that's the effective way of penetrating the firewall of the shield, energetic shield that is up against anger and accusations that comes from outside. We must leave them in the echo chamber of their own silence, their own vacuum, so they can hear their own conscience. And there is no shield to guard against the conscience from the inside. So it's an inside job. It's like when we remove our voices, our noise, our energy, our barrage of accusation, sent toward them like a cannonball. When we don't shoot our cannonballs, they're left in the vacuum of their own conscience and subconscious. And that might give them the chance for them to hear their own heart, which at the moment is completely stonewalled because that protective shield is always up. Don't you think? Do you think they don't feel the hatred of humanity? They do feel that. And they're going to defend and guard against that. So we're not going to make impact with our anger, we're just going to create more of that resistance, more of that resistant energy. Now, I don't expect the average person to agree with this because not everybody is in touch with their chakras, with their energies, and most of humanity just functions from their lower three chakras of reaction, problem, reaction, survival, fear, and these reactions are meant to ensure our survival, but they're not always the most effective way when we want to appeal to the common sense and the heart of another person. We cannot be angry. We cannot project angry, blaming, accusing, hateful energy at anyone. You wouldn't stand for that either. So consider this in your response to all the events that are happening. What energy are you projecting? Right? That's just going to hit a firewall and achieve absolutely nothing. So, perhaps this is what Jesus meant. Resist not evil. Stay neutral. Neutralize your reactive response. And allow the rich men of the earth to sit in their echo chamber of their own internal voice, their conscience. I'm going to do my part by being one of those neutralizing energy generators to not add more resistance to what's already a volatile, tense, energetic situation. As far as communication goes, there is no communication when the energies are so tense. So, I will not resist evil. I will acknowledge it. I will register it. I will be aware of it. But I will be very mindful of what I add to the mix. Do I want to add fuel to the fire? Pun intended. No pun intended, but it's funny. Do I want to add fuel to the fire? No. We must allow the fire to burn out in its own energy and fuel. I've got a little kitty here that's pushing on my phone. Sammy. Hey. Yeah, this cuddlebug was caught in the skunk trap overnight. So I went out there to check on the trap and somebody was meowing at me. Yeah.